Once again, good morning to all, and we start this lecture, today's lecture. All of us, we know that yesterday what we have seen is regarding the factor of safety. So I'll share my screen. Let me know that you are able to see screen or not. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So from very first lecture, we have seen the outlook of this subject and all other things which are related to our triple P concept. Later on, we have seen the procedure of design, and then afterwards we arrived at the factor of safety. We understood what is the concept of factor of safety. Then afterwards we understood how we can calculate this mathematical formula for the factor of safety when we are going to consider the load or externally applied force. And also we have seen concept of stress already, which you have learned in different courses, like in 12th or in first year and in second year also. And also we have calculated how this factor of safety can be calculated by considering the stress which is induced in any component. And that again we have seen for tensile stress, compressive stress, tensile and compressive, we are going to use same symbol, that is sigma. And for shear, we are going to use tau. So we have calculated this factor of safety in terms of tau. These are the three formulas which we are going to use. That is, in terms of load, factor of safety is given by failure load divided by allowable load. I will recite it once again. That is failure load divided by allowable load. Or if you are going to calculate factor of safety in terms of tensile or compressive stress, then factor of safety is given by tensile, that is failure tensile or compressive stress divided by allowable compressive or tensile stress. And if you are going to calculate this factor of safety for shear stress, then failure shear stress divided by allowable shear stress. That we are going to say. Now here what we are going to see the concept of design stress. Now once we understood what is the concept of factor of safety, then this factor of safety where we have written as a failure stresses, that is nothing but where that component is going to fail. So when that component is going to get failed, that stress you are going to consider, and you are going to use certain amount of factor of safety, and you are going to calculate allowable stresses. Okay, so that formula can be rewritten as here. If you are going to say this factor of safety is equal to failure divided by, becoming difficult, okay, divided by allowable. So when you are going to take this factor of safety to the other side of the equation, if you divide these failure stresses by means of factor of safety, you will get the allowable stresses. And based on these allowable stresses, further you can go for calculating of force divided by area, and hence we can decide this area, okay, by considering this trace to the other side, and we can calculate area. So which is actually we are going to say as application development, that is nothing but we are going to do the design divided by sigma, that is again allowable stress. Okay, so that we are going to do. But when we are going to consider this failure stresses, here also one more concept comes into picture, and that is called as design stresses. Okay, instead of this actual failure stresses, if we consider the design stresses, which means nothing but above which we are not going to take this allow that failure stresses. Okay, for that, once again, if you see, okay, so when we are going to consider the simple tensile test, you might have conducted this type of tensile test in second year first semester. I think it was second year first semester. Yeah, whether you have attended that first semester offline or it was also online. Can
Online, sir.
Second year first semester.
Online, sir.
Okay, second year first semester also you have attended online. Whether you are knowing about the tensile test? Huh? Are you knowing about tensile stress or tensile test?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So next lecture I will explain that tensile test. Okay, and if it is possible on virtual lab, we'll conduct that test also. Before that, just I want to say you that when we are going to have the Young's modulus, at least you might have conducted experiment on Young's modulus in 12th in physics. So when we are going to consider that Young's modulus, at that time you are going to draw this stress strain curve, which looks like this. For the ductile material, whereas it looks, I'll take different color. Like this for the brittle material. Agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is called as ultimate stress, right? This is yield stress. Sigma y, or yes, y you are going to call it as yes, yt. And this is also ultimate, where that material is going to get failed in two parts. Am I right? So this Young's modulus, and one more thing. Can I ask you that on a y-axis and x-axis, what you are going to write? Whether it is stress or strain?
Stress on y-axis.
Stress on y-axis. Sigma on y-axis. Okay, and here?
Strain.
Strain, that is epsilon. Okay, strain on y-axis. Sorry, x-axis. So strain on x-axis and stress on y-axis. In case of ductile and brittle material, these are the two, what we can say, broad classification of material, and based on which Again, these two classifications are very important while we are going to design any component, because ductile do have some different properties than the brittle materials. That's why their basic failure criteria are also different. We are going to see that theories of failure. At that time, we are going to see it into details. But here only, let me know you that when we are going to consider failure in case of ductile material, this ductile material failure is considered when it start to yield. That means at SYT for the ductile material, yielding starts. Yielding means change in dimensions will be taken place, and that is not regained. That is plastic deformation will take place. Before that, the deformation which might have taken place is the elastic deformation. That means when you are going to remove that load, that comes to the original position. The dimensions regain itself. That is called as elastic region. Whereas from this SYT further is called as plastic region. That is nothing but the whatever may be the changes which has taken place, that changes are permanent in that component. From here it starts. That is called as plastic. And before that it is elastic. Okay. So this type of changes which are taken place, the plasticity when starts, that we are going to consider as a failure. In that case, actually that component is not converted into two parts. That means it is not actually cut, or is not converted into two parts, two pieces, we can say. Though we are going to consider it as a failure. Whereas in case of brittle materials, so we don't have any concept of plastic deformation. Directly either it will have elastic deformation or it will have failure. That is, that part will be have two different pieces. So in that case, we are going to consider that this SUT as a failure criteria. And in case of this elastic materials, we are going to consider this SYT as a failure criteria. Okay. So when we are going to consider this design stresses, here you can see sigma D. D suffix is used for the design. Okay. Sigma we have used for the stress. So this design stresses which we are going to consider, that stress is nothing but SYT per unit, that is measured in Newton. Okay. So here, yes, see, this N is used for the factor of safety number. So this design stresses in case of this ductile materials are considered as SYT divided by factor of safety. And for the brittle materials, it is considered as a SUT divided by factor of safety, where SYT and SUT are yield strength and ultimate strength respectively. We are not going to consider this ultimate tensile strength for ductile materials, that you are going to consider for the brittle materials. Okay, and N is the factor of safety. Now this stress which we are going to consider, that should be that ultimate tensile stress, and this yield tensile stress, that should be in Newton per meter square. So that this design stress that which we are going to calculate, that will be in Newton per meter square, or you can use it into Newton per millimeter square also. Getting? So this unit will govern our design stresses also, design stress unit, because N is only number, it will not have any unit. Getting? So when we are going to consider this ultimate tensile stress or yield tensile stress for the designing or as a failure criteria, in that also you can reduce that particular stress which that actual component has to be bear, and you can increase factor of safety. Any question related to this slide? Hello? Hence after we will say, yes. Yes, who want to try?
Sir,
Ah,
yield स्ट्रेंथ आणि अल्टिमेट स्ट्रेंथ म्हणजे अजून एकदा दाखवा की त्या ड्रॉइंग मध्ये.
वाघ बरोबर आहे का?
हा सर.
हा, या केस मध्ये आपण दोन डिफरंट मटेरियल वापरलेले आहेत. एक मटेरियल आहे त्याला आपण डक्टाइल मटेरियल म्हणतो आणि दुसरं मटेरियल आहे त्याला आपण ब्रिटल मटेरियल म्हणतो. डक्टाइल मटेरियल म्हणजे आपण जसं की तांब, हे डक्टाइल मटेरियल आहे. ओके, आणि ब्रिटल मटेरियल म्हणजे आपण खापराची भांडी म्हणू. मातीची भांडी, भाजलेल्या मातीची भांडी, त्याला आपण डक्टाइल मटेरियल्स म्हणतो. किंवा कास्ट आयर्न हे डक्टाइल मटेरियल मध्ये येतं. तर सॉरी, कास्ट आयर्न हे ब्रिटल मटेरियल मध्ये येतं. तर डक्टाइल मटेरियल जे आहे त्या डक्टाइल मटेरियल मध्ये काय होतं की ज्यावेळेला तुम्ही फोर्स अप्लाय करायला सुरुवात करता त्यावेळेला तो फोर्स स्ट्रेस जनरेट करतो आणि त्याच्यामुळे स्ट्रेन पण जनरेट झालेली असते त्याच्यामध्ये. पण एक पॉइंट असा येतो ज्यावेळेला तुम्ही फोर्स किंवा स्ट्रेस त्याचा एवढा वाढवता की त्याच्यानंतर जर तुम्ही तो फोर्स रिलीज केला, फोर्स काढून टाकला त्या मटेरियलवरचा, तरी त्याच्यामध्ये जे चेंजेस, डायमेन्शनल जे चेंजेस झालेले असतात, समजा एका ताराला आपण ओढलं, एका ठराविक लिमिट पर्यंत ओढलं आणि सोडून दिलं तर परत पुन्हा आणखी ती तार ज्या लांबीची होती त्याच लांबीची राहते. तर तुम्ही इतकी ओढली की त्याच्यात फ्लो ऑफ मटेरियल स्टार्ट झाला. दॅट मीन्स प्लॅस्टिसिटी स्टार्ट्स. आणि ती प्लॅस्टिसिटी म्हणजे काय होतं की त्या तारेच्या लेंथ मध्ये फरक पडतो. जरी तुम्ही लोड काढून टाकला तर त्या लेंथ तशीच राहते. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज प्लॅस्टिक डिफॉर्मेशन. आणि हे डिफॉर्मेशन स्टार्ट झालं की त्याला आपण म्हणतो की डक्टाइल मटेरियल फेल झालं. कारण त्याच्या पुढं ज्यावेळेला आपण प्लॅस्टिसिटी स्टार्ट करतो त्याच्या पुढं ती तुटतेच. कारण ज्यावेळेला त्याचा क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया कमी होतो, त्याच्यामुळे लेंथ वाढल्यामुळं क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया कमी होतो. क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया कमी झाला की त्याची स्ट्रेस कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी कमी होते. स्ट्रेस कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी कमी झाली की अप्लाइड स्ट्रेसला ते तुटतो. त्याला म्हणायचं अल्टिमेट टेन्साइल स्ट्रेंथ. आणि इथं जिथं ती प्लॅस्टिसिटी स्टार्ट होते त्याला म्हणायचं यील्ड टेन्साइल स्ट्रेंथ. ही प्रॉपर्टीज आपल्याला फक्त डक्टाइल मटेरियल मध्ये बघायला मिळते. वेअर एज ब्रिटल मटेरियल मध्ये काय असते, एक घाव दोन तुकडे, म्हणजे तिथं प्लॅस्टिसिटी स्टार्टच होत नाही. जे काय असतं तर एक तर तो एक संघ पीस राहतो, नाहीतर दोन भागात विभागलेला असतो. तुम्ही ज्यावेळेला फोर्स, टेन्साइल फोर्स त्याच्यावर अप्लाय करता त्यावेळेला तो इलॉंगेट होत नाही, डायरेक्ट तुटतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल तुम्ही खडू घ्या आणि दोन्ही हाताने ओढा. खडू हा काय असं होत नाही की खडूचा आकार किंवा रेडियस त्याची किंवा डायमीटर हा त्याचा कमी कमी होत गेला नंतर तुटला, असं नाही होत. त्याच्याऐवजी चिंगम घेतला, चिंगम मध्ये काय होतं की तो लांबत जातो, किंवा रबर घेतला तर लांबत जातो, परत सोडून दिला आहे त्या पोझिशनला येतो. चेविंगम मध्ये पण एक एक्झाम्पल घेतोय मी, ती फक्त त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही त्याला लांबवलं की त्याचा क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया कमी होतो, पुन्हा ओरिजिनल पोझिशनला येत नाही. पण तो त्या ठिकाणी तुटत नाही, फक्त क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया कमी होतो. ओके, पण तेच ती केस खडू किंवा चॉक मध्ये नाही. ती एकदा ओढली त्याला जोपर्यंत सस्टेन होतंय तोपर्यंत तुमचा टेन्साइल स्ट्रेस सस्टेन करतो. त्याच्या बाहेर गेला की खडू तुटतो. गेटिंग? सो त्या खडूच्या तुटण्याला वी आर गोइंग टू कॉल ॲज अ अल्टिमेट टेन्साइल स्ट्रेंथ फॉर द ब्रिटल मटेरियल. अँड डक्टाइल मटेरियल मध्ये मगाशी सांगितलं तसं. सो जिथं ते फेल्युअर होतं ब्रिटल मटेरियलचं, तो स्ट्रेस म्हणतो आपण की फेल्युअर स्ट्रेस आहे. त्याच्यापेक्षा कमी आपण अलाउएबल स्ट्रेस तयार केला पाहिजे. एम आय राईट?
येस सर.
Okay, any question or other question? Yes, you can write in comment box if you have any question. If not, can we move further?
येस सर.
Okay. So first of all, I have to erase it. At the time of theories of failure, which we are going to see to the next point, we are going to see it in detail. Okay. So factors which are affecting on the factor of safety. That means on what criteria you are going to, our designers are going to select the factor of safety, whether it is 1, 2, 3, 1.25, 1.5, because that has to be what we can say prejudged by the designer. And good designer is the person who is able to decide proper factor of safety. No doubt that it will be governed by means of already we have seen that some government rules also. For example, we have taken as a gas cylinder, LPG gas cylinder, or if you are going to take example of pipings through which you are going to, even in case of our agriculture irrigation also, that strength of piping or factor of safety which we have to consider for the pipes which you are going to use, PVC pipes or it may be concrete pipes. In that case also, some government rules are there by means of which we have to decide that what should be the strength or thickness of that pipes. It is related to the safety of humankind. That's why it is governed by the governor. But good designer is always going to have very good prediction of factor of safety. That is nothing but he is going to decide a factor of safety in such a way that, because when you are going to consider a higher factor of safety, then material will be required more. That means wastage of material might be there, possibly. Because when you are going to consider higher factor of safety, dimensions will get increased of that component. And if you consider lower factor of safety, then there may be chances that accident may happen because of the failure of that. Designer is said to be well or design when you are going to consider that optimum factor of safety. So what are the basic things which that designer has to be considered while you are going to decide that factor of safety? That is the first point is material strength. There is nothing but he has to judge or he has to understand which type of material it is. Either he can go for the tensile stress, that is calculating the tensile stress, or experiment with by means of which we can do the tensile test, and he can come to know that either it is brittle material which he has selected or which you are going to utilize for that particular component, or it is ductile material. Okay, so based on that you are going to decide that factor of safety. Here only let me clear one thing, that in case of brittle material, as already I have explained, that there is no any plastic region. That means that material flow will not take place. Change in the cross-sectional area will not be there. But it is going to sustain that load or it is going to break into two parts. Whereas in case of ductile materials, yielding starts. That means directly that component is not break into two pieces, but just yielding starts. So in that case, we can say that this ductile materials are going to give us warning before failure, before actually breaking into two pieces. They are going to change their dimensions. Elongation take place in that material. So that will be considered as a warning for that particular component that it is going to fail later on. So one can replace it. So in case of ductile materials, different factor of safety has to be considered. Whereas in case of brittle materials, where directly without giving any warning, that material is going to break into two pieces. That's why we have to use some different factor of safety, right? So designer has to be considered these properties of the material. Then which type of load, second point, based on which factor of safety is decided, or the property which is going to govern that factor of safety is the manner of loading. Okay, that is how that load is applied, whether it is static load or repetitive load or impact load. These three types of load we have seen. In case of static loading, there are less chances of getting failure of that component suddenly. But in case of repetitive type loading, that failure may occur well below than its strength. That is nothing but, you can take example of cutting a wire. Have you cut any wire by means of applying repetitive type stresses? That is repetitive type loading.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it is going to, and if you try to pull by two hands and if you try to cut it, whether it is possible, no.
No, sir.
But you can apply repetitive loading and you can cut it easily, right? So that
Yes,
is
sir.
different. That is what the difference between static applied load, म्हणजे आपण दोन्ही हाताने त्याला ताणतो ते, that is static applied load, and repetitively applied load, that means repetitively load applied, and you know that it gets fail well below than its tensile strength, right? So in these two different types of loading, you have to consider different factor of safety. You have to judge that which type of loading is applied on that component. And third case, that is impact, that is again different part. Only if the load applied, impact type of loading, then failure chances are more. So if there is possibility that that component is coming across impact loading, then we have to use some different factor of safety. Okay, these are the points based on which you are going to decide that factor of safety. Then another point which has to be considered by designer when he is going to decide the factor of safety, that is possible misuse. That means the component or machinery which you are going to design or later on manufacture and is coming in the public society, or if the customers are going to purchase it, then what are the possible misuse of that particular machinery? For example, already I have taken example that these automobiles or luxurious cars, there is possible misuse that it come across the accident. That is again not actually misuse, but it is an accident, right? So designers are going to consider that what possible way this car may crash. So it is called as again crash test virtually, which we can do crash testing, that is with the help of computer and softwares, and also in laboratories that crash tests are conducted, and different type of loading conditions or which type of load may apply, which type of load may be applied on that automobile or car that are studied, and that possible forces are also considered at the time of designing of that car or that machinery. Okay, such type of possible misuses we have to consider. I will take one more example here. You might be knowing Mahindra Commander. Nowadays they are rare to see, but that Mahindra Commanders were very famous. For what purpose? In your childhood you might have, pardon?
Overloading, sir.
Overloading. Okay, can you
With people.
Passenger.
yes, passenger transportation. In Marathi it is called as Vadap.
Sir,
Right?
Overload with patient.
One by one, you please.
off-roading, sir.
Off-roading, yeah. For off-roads, that commanders were used. Riding with 3 people. What riding with 3 people? Rakesh
On
Birazar,
bike,
what?
sir.
Pardon?
On bike, sir. Misuse.
Okay, misuse. Riding by 3 people. Okay, that is what we can consider as a misuse. Overloading. Actually, it is designed for the 2-person. But you know, Rishikesh, let me tell you one thing. The person which you are going to consider, who is going to ride on that bike, two-wheeler, that might be of 120 kg. 120 kg, 2 people, they are going to travel on that two-wheeler. Yes, definitely it is a crime as per as our government law is considered that if the three people are riding on the two-wheeler, but it is designed for more capacity, right? So three people, those who are having 50 kg load, 50, and one more 50, that is 150 kg can be carried by that two-wheeler. But definitely it is misuse. Next, we were talking about the Mahindra Commander. Okay, allow me to speak in Marathi. ऍक्च्युली महिंद्रा कमांडर हे वडापसाठी जास्त वापरले जाते. अजून पण ऑफ रोडला वडापसाठी वापरले जाते. ज्यावेळेला तुम्ही त्या सह्याद्रीच्या रेंज मध्ये जाता, जिथं अजून एसट्यांची सोय नाही कुठं, अशी काही काही गाव आहेत, पाथरपुंज, पांढरपाणी वगैरे ही अशी गाव आहेत, ज्या ठिकाणी रोड म्हणजे रोड म्हणता येणार नाही त्याला, पण बस वगैरे सोय नाही, गाव आहेत तिथं. अशा ठिकाणी एक सकाळी आणि एक संध्याकाळी अजून पण महिंद्रा कमांडर वापरले जाते आणि त्यातनं पॅसेंजर ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन केलं जातं. आता ऍक्च्युली महिंद्रा कमांडर हे डिझाईन केलेले आहेत पुढं 2 शीट, 2च्या ऐवजी 3 कन्सिडर करा, मध्ये 4 आणि पाठीमागच्या हौद्यात 2 अधिक 2. ओके, म्हणजे 4 आणि 4 8, 9 10 11, 11वा ड्रायव्हर 10 + 1. ओके, it is authorized by the government also, it is tested and recommended by the government. पण किती लोक त्यात वाहतूक केलेली तुम्ही बघितलेत?
20-25 वर बसून.
20-25 वर टपावर बसून सुद्धा, राईट. ओके, फॉर्च्युनेटली म्हणा किंवा अनफॉर्च्युनेटली म्हणा, माझा एक क्लासमेट होता, तो त्या महिंद्रा कमांडरच्या डिझाईन फेज मध्ये त्या कंपनी सर्व्हिसला होता, अँड ही वॉज वर्किंग ॲज अ डिझाईन इंजिनियर. So at that time, one more Trax was also very famous. I'm talking about near about 15 to 20 years back. Okay, आणि त्यावेळेला ट्रॅक्स पण एक त्यांचा कॉम्प्युटर होता महिंद्रा कमांडरचा. ती पण मायलेज चांगली द्यायची गाडी आणि लोक जास्त कॅरी करायला त्यातनं चालू व्हायची. पण बऱ्याचदा असं झालं होतं की महिंद्रा कमांडर जे होते ते पाठीमागच्या साईडला जे फुट रेस्ट असतं, ज्याच्यातून पाय ठेवून आपण वरती त्या पाठीमागच्या हौद्यात बसू शकतो, ते फुट रेस्ट वर, कारण जर कॅपॅसिटी बसायची संपली तर असे बघितलंय का त्याला लोंबकळत चाललेले आहेत लोक?
येस सर.
Yes, sir.
येस, त्याच्यावर एका माणसाने एकच पाय ठेवते, दुसरा पाय त्याचा अंतराळी, म्हणजे फुट रेस्ट वर फक्त पाय ठेवणे इतपत जागा, आणि एका वेळेला 4 किंवा 5 लोक त्या फुट रेस्ट वर उभा राहिलेले असतात त्यांचं पूर्ण वजन देऊन, राईट?
येस सर.
येस, मग त्यावेळेला काय झालं की ऍज अ डिझायनर he got complaint from the sales people that the footrest which has designed for Mahindra Commander is not able to carry the load. It gets break frequently. म्हणजे ते फुटरेस्ट आहे ते फुटरेस्ट सारखं ब्रेक होतंय असं कस्टमरचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे, जो सेल्स मध्ये आला, सेल्स मधनं परत तो डिझाईन डिपार्टमेंटला गेला. ओके, ह्या बिचाऱ्यानं कन्सिडर काय करायला पाहिजे होतं? एक माणूस पाय ठेवून फक्त वरती त्या बसायसाठी तो फुटरेस्ट असतो. व्हॉट डिझायनर हॅज टू बी कन्सिडर? दॅट पर्सन इज ऑफ 120 kg at the max. Consider factor of safety of 2. That means he have considered while designing that maximum load which is coming on that footrest is 120 multiplied by 2. That is 240 kg. पण त्याच्यावर जर 5-5 माणसं उभा राहिली, जे ऍव्हरेजली आपण 60 kg चे पकडू, 6-5 300 kg if the load is coming, whether that designer is wrong?
No sir.
Whether that driver who is allowed to stand on that footrest, he is wrong. Yes, definitely.
Driver.
Yeah, it is misuse of that driver, right? Because he want to carry more passengers so that he can earn more money. So when actually he come across this problem, then he decided that at a time 400 kg load is coming on that footrest, and consider factor of safety of 3. Then 400 multiplied by 3 is 1200 Newton or kg that we are going to consider as a load which is coming. Okay, but he considered as a 1200 kg converted into Newton. That much force is coming on that footrest and it becomes very rigid. Then afterwards stop that complaints which are coming from the customer that gets stopped. Okay, this is what the example of possible misuse which that designer has to be considered. Okay. Then next point is complexity of the stress analysis. That is nothing but when you are going to design any component and that component is subjected to too many type of loading. That is nothing but compressive load is coming, then bending load is coming, then inside that pressure is generated. That's why hoop stresses of hoop type of loading is also coming on the periphery of that surface of that component. Okay, even some twisting is taking place in that component. Such type of component might be there. That is in case of eccentric loading. In some applications, these all type of loadings are coming into picture. That is twisting load is coming, tensile load is coming. Simultaneously, one side is undergoing to the tensile, another side is undergoing to the compression. Whereas inside pressure is there in that pipe or suppose that type of component. So these too many loadings when are applied on any component which you are going to design, at that time it becomes more complicated to analyze the stresses. So which type of stress is responsible for the failure, that is very difficult to calculate, because failure is occurring because of the all type of that combined type of loading, and combined stresses will be generated into that component. So at that time, the designer has to be consider that higher factor of safety, because there might be possibility because of all type of loading, the combined effect may be there that failure may take place at very low level or low value of stress than the yield or design stress. Getting me? So at that time, you have to consider higher factor of safety. Hope you might have understood it. Even when the atmosphere is going to change frequently, for example, you are going to design a component which might be used on seashore or for the ship, where atmosphere is what we can say humid and rusting is taking place. So, and corrosion is also very high in that type of environment. Or suppose you are going to consider aeroplane. Aeroplane is traveling from India to US. At that time, very different type of environment through which that aeroplane is traveling. Hot, very cold, might be temperature difference might be very high. At that time, that temperature is going to affect on that components which are used in very short time. That nothing but the components which are there, elongation might be taking place or contraction is taking place because of the change in temperature, and this is going to affect on the stress level of that component. So in such conditions, you have to consider higher factor of safety. Another example is the components which are used in chemical factories. Some of the chemicals are there in which very high rusting take place, or corrosion rate is very high while you are going to handle that type of chemical. Okay. In case of petroleum type of industries, we have to use some different type of factor of safety or higher factor of safety. Okay. Any question related to this point?
No, sir.
The next point, yes, okay. So next point is hazardous failure. If suppose the part gets fail, so if that is nothing but it is very hazardous. For example, we can take if you are going to design a tanker which is going to carry that HCl or acidic type of chemicals. In that case, if the failure take place, then that hazardous chemicals are going to affect on much more area. Or if suppose you are going to design a container for carrying the poisonous gases, then it may affect on very large area. So you have to consider that where that component is used, whether that is hazardous, very that is harmful to the people or society or even environment. That you have to consider. In that case also, you have to consider higher factor of safety. We have taken example of cylinder gas, right? Or gas cylinder. It is not cylinder gas cylinder, which we are going to use for the LPG, liquid petroleum gases. And next, we have to consider cost also, because as you increase the factor of safety, material which is required will get increased. And as we use more material, cost is also going to increase, because then material requires more cost. And even in some cases, some machining, or what we can say, manufacturing process has to be done. More manufacturing process has to be done. Some in case of some complicated designs, if you decide that factor of safety higher, in that case, it may affect on the cost also. So in that case, we have to reduce factor of safety if the cost is going to increase. If the cost is major criteria for that, getting. So all these points you have to consider, based on which that designer is going to consider the factor of safety. Okay. So these are the some representative points. Even you can add 2 more points into that, and you can write your own points where the factor of safety is depend on that point. Okay. So that is what the we can say line of thinking of designer, where he has to choose which factor of safety, higher or lower. Okay. Definitely that factor of safety will not be less than 1. And if it is less than 1, the design will not be safe. That component will not be safe. Okay. So let me tell you one thing. Today I'm going to stop here only. If you have any question, you are free to ask. Any question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. If not, you put your roll numbers in chat box. Hope that everybody might have written their roll numbers. Okay, thank you for listening me. You can leave meeting. Those who have not written their roll number in chat box, they are asked to return. Don't repeat. Whether everybody has written their roll number. Ajay, Ajit Gaikwad.
Yes, sir.
Okay, whether you have written your number.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for listening me. Now you can leave meeting. TYA 51. You have not written your name. TYA 51. 51. Mayur Shalke.